It was technically legal. The FIA's own regulations allowed it. Mercedes and Red Bull found it, used it, and gained from it in Australia and then in Japan. And Ferrari, watching from the outside, knew it was happening and chose to ask the FIA a question rather than copy it. That decision tells you something important about how Ferrari read this situation, because the trick that Mercedes and Red Bull had been running at the end of qualifying laps, a software mode that bypassed the mandated power reduction ramp down and allowed maximum MGU-K deployment for an extra few seconds, has now been banned. Not because it was illegal, because the FIA decided that using an emergency shutdown function for competitive gain was not what that function was designed for. The performance benefit was real. Sources describe a 50 to 100 kilowatt advantage for a short period at the end of a qualifying lap, worth fractions of a second at some circuits, potentially more at tracks where the final straight is longer. Miami has a long final straight. That detail is not insignificant, and the ban arrives 10 days before the Miami Grand Prix. Subscribe to Full Throttle. Let's break down exactly what this trick was, who used it, who complained, and what it means for Miami. The 2026 regulations include a mandatory ramp-down requirement for MGU-K deployment at the end of straights. As a car burns through its battery energy approaching the timing line, the regulations require that power is reduced at a rate of 50 kilowatts per second. This prevents a sudden dangerous drop in speed when the battery depletes completely. Exactly the kind of cliff-edge energy loss that has caused the speed differentials seen in the first 3 races of 2026. The ramp-down rule exists for safety, but the regulations also include a legitimate exception. If the MGU-K needs to be shut down for technical reasons, an emergency, a detected fault, a component protection measure, the ramp-down requirement does not apply. The system can be cut immediately. Mercedes and Red Bull's engineers identified that this emergency shutdown mode, known internally as the continuous offset function, could be activated at the end of a qualifying lap without the safety risks that would normally accompany shutting down 350 kilowatts of electrical power mid-lap. The reason is simple. At the end of a qualifying lap, after the car crosses the timing line, drivers do not need the MGU-K. They are slowing down. Returning to the pits, speed on the slowdown lap is irrelevant. So activating the emergency shutdown at that specific moment and running at maximum MGU-K deployment for the final seconds before the line without the ramp-down reduction delivered a performance gain with no operational downside. The 6-0-second lockout that the FIA had put in place as a deterrent was irrelevant when the car was already done with its qualifying effort. Clever, legal, and worth somewhere between 50 and 100 kilowatts of extra deployment for a short period. The trick had been visible in Australia to teams that were looking closely enough. Rivals spotted Mercedes and Red Bull running the MGU-K shutdown at the end of their qualifying efforts from the very first race weekend of 2026. But it was in Japan that the unintended consequences became impossible to ignore. Kimi Antonelli and Max Verstappen both experienced moments in practice at Suzuka where their cars were left with insufficient power to drive normally through the Esses, the high-speed section in the middle of the lap that requires sustained electrical deployment. The 6-0-second MGU-K lockout, designed to deter abuse of the shutdown function, was doing exactly what it was supposed to do, preventing the teams from having their electrical power available when they needed it on the next lap after activating the trick. Williams' Alex Albon stopped on track entirely during practice directly because of complications caused by the same issue spreading to a customer team. At that point, the competitive advantage had become a reliability and safety problem. Cars from multiple manufacturers were either crawling through high-speed sections or stopping on circuit during a practice session at one of Formula One's most technically demanding venues. The FIA opened conversations with Mercedes in Japan. After those discussions, Mercedes chose to deactivate the system at Suzuka, partly because the short distance from the final chicane to the timing line meant the gains were smaller there than at other circuits, and partly because the visibility of the problem had made continuing to run it in its current form untenable. But the conversations between Ferrari and the FIA had already begun. And the outcome of those conversations is the ban that was published this week. Ferrari's response to the Mercedes and Red Bull trick is the most revealing part of this story from a competitive strategy perspective. When rivals spotted the MGU-K shutdown being used in Australia, the standard Formula One response would be to replicate it as quickly as possible. If it is legal, use it. That is how the sport has always worked. Ferrari did not do that. Instead, Ferrari opened a dialogue with the FIA to seek clarification, not about whether the trick was legal, which they accepted it was, but about whether the safety implications of using it were acceptable given what they had observed. That decision reflects a specific calculation. Ferrari was not in a position where copying the trick would have delivered equivalent benefits. The performance gain from the MGU-K shutdown depends on the length of the run from the final corner to the timing line. At circuits where that distance is short, Shanghai and China, the final chicane at Suzuka, the gain is minimal. At circuits where that distance is long, Baku, Monza, Miami, the gain is more significant. Ferrari's assessment was that the safety risks outweighed the competitive benefit at the circuits where the gain was small, and that at the circuits where the gain was large, the trick was likely to attract regulatory scrutiny before those events arrived. That assessment was correct. The ban arrives before Miami, the first circuit on the 2026 calendar, where the trick would have delivered its maximum benefit. Ferrari did not need to copy the trick because the trick was going to be stopped before it mattered most. That is either very good intelligence work or a very accurate read of how the FIA would respond. Probably both. The FIA's ban does not remove the MGU-K emergency shutdown function from the regulations. That function remains available for its original purpose: genuine technical emergencies where shutting down the system is necessary to protect components. What the ban removes is the ability to use that function systematically at the end of qualifying laps for competitive gain. The updated technical documents sent to teams make clear that the FIA will monitor data from the end of qualifying laps. If a team activates the MGU-K shutdown and cannot demonstrate a genuine emergency justification, the action will not be tolerated. In practice, this means the ramp-down requirement applies universally again from Miami onwards. Every team's MGU-K deployment will reduce at the mandated 50 kilowatts per second rate as cars approach the timing line. The playing field is level again, at least in this specific area. The competitive consequence is asymmetric. Mercedes and Red Bull lose something they had. Ferrari, McLaren, and the other manufacturers gain nothing new. But they lose nothing either because they were not using the trick. The net effect at Miami is a small reduction in the qualifying advantage that Mercedes customer teams had over Ferrari and McLaren customer teams. How small is genuinely uncertain. The trick was worth fractions of a second at most circuits. At Miami, with its longer, final straight, the benefit would have been at the larger end of that range. Whether the removal of that benefit is detectable in the lap time gap between Mercedes and Ferrari at Miami is something the qualifying sessions on May 2nd will answer. Step back from the specific trick and look at the pattern that is emerging around Mercedes' 2026 advantage. The compression ratio loophole, the manufacturing exploit that gave Mercedes a structural power output advantage, is being closed. The FIA's fix is effective from Monaco in June. The MGU-K shutdown trick, the qualifying gain that delivered fractions of a second at the end of laps, has now been banned before Miami. The super clipping harvesting parameter changes being discussed in the FIA meetings this week could further reduce the performance reward for the sophisticated energy management software that Mercedes has spent years developing through their Formula E program. Each individual change is relatively small. No single rule adjustment closes the gap between Mercedes and Ferrari overnight, but the direction of travel is clear. The regulatory environment that produced Mercedes' current advantage, where exploits in the manufacturing specifications, software loopholes in the emergency functions, and the institutional knowledge advantage from Formula E, all compounded on top of each other, is being systematically addressed. None of this guarantees Ferrari wins at Miami. Mercedes is still 45 points ahead in the Constructors' Championship. Russell and Antonelli are first and second in the drivers' standings. The car is genuinely faster. The power unit is genuinely more powerful. But the gap that existed at Suzuka and the gap that will exist at Miami are not the same gap. And that trajectory, Small incremental rule by rule is what the rest of the 2026 season is being built around. The trick was legal in Australia. It was legal in China. It was legal in Japan. And then Antonelli crawled through the Suzuka Esses. Albon stopped on track. And the conversations that Ferrari had already started with the FIA reached their conclusion. The MGU-K shutdown exploit is gone. The compression ratio fix arrives at Monaco. The superclipping parameter changes arrive at Miami. Mercedes's advantage is real, significant, and not disappearing overnight. But it is being addressed rule by rule, meeting by meeting, race by race. Whether the cumulative effect of those changes is enough to make 2026 a genuine championship fight, rather than a Mercedes procession, is the question that the rest of the season will answer. Miami is where we find out how much each change actually matters.